And you can close. You can close down your eyelids. Thank you for being here. And notice that in one breath, as soon as you close down your eyes, you're invited to explore and experience what's going on the inside. Invitation to observe and maybe shift your breath so it's a little more steady, a little more full. We'll begin, if you want, you can listen or call in response with a sutra that Patanjali offers as a way to begin to purify our mind so that we can become better able to concentrate on the present moment and experience the fullness of life from an objective perspective. This sutra gives us 4 attitudes, and each attitude is recommended for a specific type of person. Some teachers even say 4 keys to 4 different locks to unlocking your most calm mind and the best way to work in relationships. Before we chant, just a reminder, Maitri means friendliness. And we want to offer friendliness to anyone that is extremely happy. Karuna is compassion. And when someone is unhappy or suffering, we would like to approach them from a deep space of compassion. The 3rd word in the sutra says mudito, and this references the feeling of delight. And put on that feeling in your heart as you listen. And it's suggested we offer delight to those who are virtuous and successful. And the final word in the sutra, or final attitude, I should say, is upekshanam. And this is the concept of indifference. And for those who are wicked or less virtuous in this world, may we not be pulled by the way they live in the life, causing us to have an unstable mind, but sit in a place with indifference and maybe even compassion if we have it. You can gather your hands and we'll start with one Om. Remember, the Om is referencing the divine, the space all around your body and the space within your body. Every cell in your body that vibrates intelligence as it continues to do its work. Take a slow breath in. And a smooth, long breath out. One more. Simply receive your inhalation. If you want to practice the words. Maitri Karuna, Maitri Karuna, Mudito Upekshanam, Mudito Upekshanam, Sukha Dukkha, Sukha Dukkha, Punya Apunya, Punya Apunya, Vishayanam Bhavantanas, Vishayam Bhavanatas, Chitta Prasadanam, Chitta Prasadanam. Take a slow breath in. And feel your exhale leave you. To support a more pure mind, which will benefit our desire to concentrate in our practice and off the mat. It's encouraged that we take on the attitudes of friendliness to those who are extremely happy. To those who are not happy and suffering, we should take on the attitude of compassion. For those who are virtuous and successful, take on the attitude of delight for their virtue. And finally, for those we struggle with for their less than virtuous decisions and actions, for a pure mind, may we step back and treat them with indifference. And then we'll actually begin with 3 minutes of breathing on our back. So you can bat your eyes open and draw your knees together and find a supine pose in any way that feels comfortable. This next sutra and the next 5 sutras talk about the way to quiet your mind. Let's check it out. So once you find yourself laying on your back, you can have your phone near you too, or press play on our Spotify song, or playlist, which is October 2020, if you'd like to listen to it on Spotify. I'll put my computer here so I can see your bodies. And come to a pose where you're laying down. You can either bring the bottoms of your feet together with your knees wide, possibly with bricks underneath your femur bone, or take a simple supine posture where you can let the body be heavy and start to focus on your breath. Immediately close your eyes when you arrive. And in this next sutra, Patanjali says, if you can't seem to manage those attitudes, then your next move would be to maintain the pensive state that you hold while you observe an exhalation. So first, land your eyelids closed and begin to purposely move your breath in and out of your body. Remember, avidya, the first klesha, or the number one reason why most human beings suffer unnecessarily in life, is they shine all their light of awareness onto the ego side of the incessant chatting of the mind. Invite yourself to wake up behind your closed eyes and shine your light into the full detail of your moving breath. When you inhale, observe the breath come in through your nostrils, soften your jaw and any muscles of your torso to allow your lungs to expand to their fullest. When they're completely full, notice that pause and watch the exhale ride out as slowly as possible. Once the mind becomes pure, our ability to concentrate heightens as we are less worried about the relationships that we have with our ego and more interested in the relationship we have with God or spirit. With each inhale, we're connecting and waking up to the sympathetic nervous system, the side of you that keeps you awake and alive and active. So for 2 or 3 more breaths, watch the pensive state your mind lands on as you observe your exhalation, which is about offering your life to the collective. Take one more big breath here, loving the transparency of your mind to experience moment. And stretch your hands over your head and start to wake up your body. Now bend your knees into your chest. rock and roll a little left and right and start to feel your body and not feel that it needs to change. But remind yourself that the practice today is about your exhalation. Rock and roll along your spine to come all the way up to a seat with crossed legs. Inhale, left hand to the side of your body, right hand skyward. And exhale, plant your entire left palm lightly on the floor as you bow out your side waist. Relax your head. Steer your right sit bone deeper into the floor as you broaden the front line of your right ribs. And then breathe into relaxed shoulders. Take a slow, smooth breath in. Find the edge of your lungs. Notice where you hold tension in this effort to be alive. And then release that as you exhale a long breath. And just two more. I land my eyelids closed so I can look at that big dark space inside. But eventually you can stare at one thing in your room and see the whole world as you expand your consciousness and wrap awareness around it all. Good. Inhale, center, second side. Breathe in, the palm faces to the right, shoulders shrug down, and exhale, side bend. As you close your eyes, bring this idea that this posture can be offered and let your breath and your mind enjoy the ride. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Feel the sensations of the arm and the muscles waking up. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Come to center. You can draw the knees. Place the feet on the floor for teepee twist is what Ange used to call it. Right hand behind you. Grab onto the shins and sit tall. Inhale. And exhale, start to twist open your body. We'll get dynamic in movement, I promise. We'll heat us up big time. As you look behind your back shoulder, get a nice royal tall spine and breathe. You can close your eyes, breathe in. Feel how your breath can stretch all these muscles in your torso that are directed with your respiration, related. And exhale, open up the area of the collarbones by pulling your shoulder blades towards center on your back. One more breath. Good, come back to center. Swap sides, breathe in, get royal. And exhale, twist. As we wake up the spine for some back bends, some twists, and some side stretches, we're moving the energy from our mind through our entire spine, which is a big part of our nervous system. So take two more breaths. Watch yourself breathe in. Draw your shoulders on your back, sit tall. And as you breathe out, look behind you just a tiny bit more and feel what it's like to exhale. Last breath. Finish your exhale and come back to center. And let's start dynamic movement. Top of the mat, please. Sun salutes. Find your foundation, find your footing. Dig those little paws into the earth. Hip distance or your big toes touch. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, soft bend in your knees as you reach your hands and eyes to the sky. Firm your thighs and press your feet into the floor. Exhale, forward fold, hinge right over your hips. You can bend your knees a little bit and drop your head completely. Inhale, hands to shins, lift your chest and lengthen the front line of your torso. And exhale, plant your palms, step it back, chaturanga dandasana or knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Press your whole hands into the floor. And exhale, flip over your toes. Drop your head, downward dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. And if you would like to pedal your legs out to begin, go for it. But for the next 4 breaths, I invite you to watch your breath in, fill the balloon of your lungs, and stretch your muscles softly. And with each exhale, watch the exhale and learn from it. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Release the skin in the back of your neck. Maybe bend your knees to reach your hips up a tiny bit higher. One more big breath in. Slow breath in through your nose, please. And full breath out. Inhale onto tippy toes and tiptoe gracefully to the front of your mat. Forward fold when you get there. Inhale, halfway lift. You can drag your hands up your shins. And exhale, fold. 2 more with your breath. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Soften your toes. Root the 4 corners of your feet. Eyes to navel. 1 last. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Nice. Inhale, soft bend in your knees. Reach all the way up with your hands. Hips can shove forward as you reach up, and hands by your sides. Exhale. 1 more sun A, just like that. Inhale, extend your arms up. And exhale, strong forward fold. Finish your breath completely. Slow it down, watch empty, then inhale, pull your heart away from your inner thighs. And exhale to chaturanga, go slow. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Breathe in and pull your shoulder blades together. Strengthen your back body. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. As you spread your fingers and press all of the space of your fingers into the floor, you can brighten your palms, steer your forearms towards center, and wrap your shoulders wide. Press your arm bones any bit longer and begin to rotate your inner thighs just a tiny bit to the back wall. Now act natural, please. Big breath in. Watch yourself take a long exhale and see what it does to the body and mind. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale all the air out of your lungs completely. Empty of breath, bend your knees, look forward, step or lightly hop to the front. Then breathe in, halfway lift, strong thighs, and exhale, fold, pull yourself together a little. Good. Reach your hands all the way up. Finish the cycle of Surya Namaskara A. And exhale, hands by your sides. Sun B variation, very different than Sun B, I guess. Inhale, chair pose. And exhale, forward fold, straighten the legs. Watch yourself breathe and move. Inhale, halfway lift. Shift your weight forward onto your feet a little. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Always option to skip these or simply lower your knees. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Stretch the front of your chest. And exhale, downward facing dog. Use an inhale breath to extend your right leg to the back wall, please. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over wrists, and pull your femur bone as you lift your spine. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to chest, squeeze that sucker in and kick it over to your left. Take 2 breaths here in this twist. Energize your legs and draw your shoulders skin away from your ears. 1 more big breath in. And breath out. 3-legged down dog. Inhale, move through honey. Exhale, step your right foot all the way through. Warrior 1, please take your left foot over to the left, maybe a little forward. Breathe in as you lift your hands up. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your low back. Inhale, you got it. Lift your heart, possibly the wrists come towards squeezing. Steer your right hip back. And exhale, swan dive the heart forward as you press into your right heel. Lower your head. Your hands can do whatever feels good, up to the sky. Maybe they just rest on your low back. 3 more breaths. Slow breath in through your nose. Notice where in your body are you stressed or crunchy or contracted. Back of the neck can lengthen, maybe 1 little bit. 1 more big breath in. Full breath out. Observe the breath leave you completely. Hands on either side of your front foot. Stand into standing splits or L pose. Breathe in, please. Look at your back leg and enjoy pointing it. Exhale, bend both knees. Lower your chin towards your chest. With your breath, inhale, extend through all edges of the body and breath. Exhale to bend. 2 more. Inhale, keeps you alive. Exhale, we offer out the ego and enjoy spirit. Last one. Inhale, extend. And exhale, Bend both knees. Good. Place the left foot on the other side of the right foot than normal to cross your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. You can close your eyes for 2 breaths. Each pose an opportunity to be riddled in the chat of the ego, or to unplug from that conversation and show up to now. Last breath. Good. Step your left leg all the way back. High lunge pose. You can lower the back knee. Breathe in, reach your hands to the sky. Guess that's not high lunge. Exhale, make a twist. Left hand to the earth or elbow over thigh. You can stretch your right hand skyward. Open your chest in whatever pose you choose. Switch legs. You can pop the back knee up if you're looking for a little bit more fierceness, but lift your heart up to the hands if you've got a prayer, and expand through the front of your chest. Whatever pose you're in, take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last big breath in. Shoulders down your back as you breathe out. Good. Inhale, high lunge. Now we do a side bend. I'm going to shimmy my way back to space you. So back knee can be lifted or down, and we'll stretch the left side of our body. Huge, from the hip, through the armpit, through the middle finger, and then shrug the shoulders away from your ears. Helps us listen. How about just 1 more? Big breath in. And full breath out. Use your inhale to rise up. High lunge or with the knee on the ground. Then exhale, hands to the floor, high plank pose. Take a breath in here and pause. Side plank, right hand into the middle of the mat. Vashisthasana. We'll do it like a back bend. So you can lower your right knee to the floor. Geez, help yourself out if you'd like. Lift your left hand high and start to open up your upper chest. So full Vashisthasana, that's fine too. And let this be a front body opener as it continues to build strength in your body. Maybe you take the back foot for your last 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath. Press down into the floor to lift up and swap sides. Left hand in the middle of your mat, Vashisthasana, or any side plank variation. Spread your fingers super wide. Take the shoulders away from you. Make them strong as you push the scapula into your back. Take them away from your front body. Top arm reaches back if you aren't there already. Notice where you disconnect from the floor and make your variation of the bind. Last 3 breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. Steady your breath. 1 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Release the leg. High plank pose at the top of your mat. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Another chest stretch. Extend your right arm on the floor, right over the right. And you're going to roll onto your right hip and take your left leg behind your right leg. Time to use your breath to calm your body. If it's you noticed your feathers got a little ruffled. And take your version of the pose. 3 more breaths. Big breath in. Smooth breath out. Deep breath in. Smooth breath out. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Roll onto your belly. Extend your left arm directly out to the left, or if anything, it can be down a little bit. So either straight out or different muscles are activated if you get a softer angle, lower angle. Roll to your left side body, bend your right knee. Perfect. Invitation to close your eyes. Once the physical form has been managed, the deeper level of who you are is the energetic form. Pull your breath in, focus your mind on breath to stay stable. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. One more big breath in. And full breath out. And now come back to your belly. Come on to hands and knees. And sit back on your heels for Kapalabhati. We will do the other side, I promise. Your hands can come to low belly. This is bellow breathings. It's a great way to build your digestive fire. Contraindications would be ulcer in your stomach, pregnancy. Yeah. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. Place your hands to your low belly. You can close your eyes. Skull shining breath. Take a slow breath in through your nostrils and fill your lungs to maximum capacity. For the breath, release a little bit of your pressure, and it's a staccato exhale out the nose, and the breath just naturally comes back into your lungs. So it looks like staccato of your low belly pulses in with each exhale, and relax your abdomen, and the vacuum of your lungs simply fills itself. So it's just an exhalation pulsing, and the breath comes in naturally. Good. Exhale all your air out. Take a slow breath in. When you're full, relax a little of the pressure of your nose. Keep your mind at your third eye and Kapalabhati. Five more. Unless there's any stress, then you just stop yourself and you can do 5, and that's as high as you go. Good. We'll do one more round. Take a slow breath in. And Kapalabhati for 27, if we can get there comfortably. And exhale completely. Pause. Iyengar specifically says in this sutra that the exhalation needs to be a forced exhalation, and that by the retention at the end of the exhale, we learn how to elevate and spread consciousness. Until then, we'll keep working. Hands to the floor, downward dog. With your next inhale, extend your left leg lightly to the back wall. Stay focused on your entire form though. Exhale, knee to chest, hug that leg up. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bring the knee towards your torso, shift forward, kick the leg over to the right. Now activate your legs, square your hips, take a big breath into this little twist. And exhale, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, 3-legged down dog. Lift the leg up. Lower your right heel a little. And exhale, step your left foot all the way through. Warrior 1, you can change your stance and then breathe in as you lift up. And the action is in drawing your left hip bone back. Exhale, interlace your fingers. Inhale, pull your heart up and draw the roots into your feet. And exhale, keep your roots as you shift your heart forward and down. Breathe in and breathe out. Let your head be relaxed, balance your breath, and feel equal weight in both of your feet. Imagine you're on 2 scales and try to make as much energy going into the back leg as the front. Soften your hips and head, one more breath. Exhale everything and watch the exhale leave you. Hands to the floor, 3-legged, whatever, you know what I mean. Standing splits. Breathe in, reach your right leg to the back wall. Internal rotation of that leg. Exhale, bend both knees, lower your head. 3 more. Inhale, find the edge of your pose and the edge of your breath. And exhale to find center. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Last one. Big breath in. Full breath out. Cross the right shin behind your left shin for a forward fold with crossed ankles. Inhale, lift your heart up. And exhale, you can bend your knees a little bit. Lower your chin towards your chest. Shift your weight forward and back. And then once you commit to a space, be there. As you breathe in, feel alive and awake in your entire body and mind. And as you breathe out, offer part of yourself to the rest of the world. One more breath. Exhale all your air out completely and surrender a little more. Inhale, halfway lift. Stand on your left leg, lift your right leg and step it all the way back for a lunge. You can lower the back knee if you'd like. Inhale, hands to the sky, and we'll take a twist. Exhale, draw the front body into the back to hook your elbow or place the hand on the floor. Choice with the back leg, your body, your practice. And then once you find your best twist, press into the feet, hug towards your center, and then advance your experience by focusing your entire awareness on the feelings and sensations that arrive in body. Big breath in. Smooth breath out. Learn from your exhale how you can expand your awareness and intelligence. 2 more breaths. With your last breath, can you hug your hips a little more towards center, push your back heel back, and lift your heart a tiny bit more on your exhale? Ay, 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 good. Hands to the floor. We'll take a side bend. You can lower the back knee or lift it for this version. Inhale, right hand high. And exhale, start to stretch your right side waist. Notice the shoulders want to kick up. Notice the feet, the 26 bones in each of your feet start to wiggle and ground into the corners and breathe. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Sit bones roll a little bit towards the floor to lengthen and safety the low back. And exhale. Good. Inhale, come to center. Plant your palms, step all the way back, high plank pose, and then lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Press the tops of your feet, roll your chest up. Exhale, lower. Take your hands off your mat and imagine you have little cupcakes underneath your hands. So just the tips of your fingers. Now dance with your breath. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, lower. With my twist, inhale, lift, look over your left shoulder. I love this move. Exhale, lower. Second side, inhale. And exhale. Hands right by your ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, hands and knees, please. You can walk your knees forward so they're directly under your hips. Flip your left toes under. Extend your right leg. Breathe in, lift your head. And exhale, round your back, knee to chest, nose to knee. Inhale, right leg extends. Inner leg long, full breath in. Exhale out your nose. And at the end of the exhale, as your lungs are empty, pull the knee up. Good, last one. And exhale. Good, inhale, right leg lifts to the back wall. Kick your left toes to the left so we can do Vashisthasana one more time with the big arm balance, or the big arm bind. Roll your shoulders on your back, take a big breath in. And second side. Both hands to the floor, extend your left leg to the back wall. As you breathe in, open the entire front line of your body. And exhale, press down into the floor to lift your femur bone up to your chest, nose to knee. Feel your body. You can close your eyes or walk them mindfully from drishti to drishti. And as you see, take in all information without any stories. Last one. Exhale to round, hug your knee in. Good. Extend that leg back, kick your right toes over to the right and make your bind. It might look like this. I should have said that the first time. One more breath. Inhale. If you've got it, then kick open the front body. And exhale. Good. Hands to the floor. Downward facing dog. You can do this in child's pose too. We'll twist it. I offer these options all the time. So either left hand over to the right shin, ankle, thumb pointed up, twist your eyes under, or do it from child's pose. And lower your left shoulder fully onto the floor and the left temple hits the earth. Doesn't matter what pose you choose. Close your eyes, be there for a few breaths. If you want to play with lifting your left leg in three-legged down dog, do that as well. But whatever pose you choose, can you land there with a steady mind, fully observing and learning from each side of your breath? The ego wants a pose, wants to feel something, wants a story around it, wants to be separate. Can you be like a blade of grass in a large field for one more breath? And then come back slowly to center. Second side, whatever pose you took. For down dogs, really wrap that shoulder onto the side of your ribs. It's a serratus anterior. It's going to support the shallow and fragile shoulder joint. And whatever pose you're in, twist your dog or twist your child's pose. Take 2 more breaths to let the pose kind of blow through your entire body and not happen to you, but through you. Nice. Downward facing dog. Can lower your knees to the floor. Step your right leg forward and take a little bit more stretch in the psoas. So the psoas is a big hip flexor that's important to open for back bends. You can put your right hand to your right thigh. You might need to flip your mat a couple times or put a pillow underneath your leg and bend your left knee and take the foot. Then use it. So squeeze your left thigh by kicking into your hand, flex through the foot a little bit, and breathe as you stare right in front of your mat or lift your gaze. The future is pretty bright. Keep the chest opening, very active in your front and back body. 2 more breaths, inhale. Exhale. 1 more, inhale. And exhale. Lower the back foot. Place both hands on either side of the front foot. Revolve triangle. Step your left foot forward into the left, both legs straight. Breathe in. Left hand on a brick, a bookcase, or on the floor. And exhale, twist, right hand skyward. Hard pose or just awkward pose. Push your feet into the floor and lighten up a little bit as you lift your chest forward and steer your right hip back. Right hand skyward. Maybe 1 more big breath in. And full breath out. Hands to the floor. Step your left foot far, far, far back for half or full Hanuman. Lower your back knee. Walk your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest towards your big toe. And exhale, fold. Haven't done tons of hamstring stretches, but some of y'all just wake up in the splits pose. So you can take that if that seems to be you and start to breathe into active legs. Soften your face. 3 more breaths wherever you are. Inhale. And more importantly, exhale all the old stories and air out of your body. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last big breath. And exhale. Nice. Full splits, you can find half splits. We'll walk our hands forward. 3-legged downward dog, everyone. And then take big circles in the hip joint. Bend your right knee, bring it towards your right armpit, towards the floor, into the back wall. And enjoy some hip circles, especially if you feel like you've got tight hips or spine today. Or flip your dog, which means come onto the left heel, bring it over to the left, bend your right knee and press into your right and left foot to lift your hips. Soften all 10 toes and draw your right shoulder away from your ear. Shoulder blades together will offer a bigger back bend in the upper chest. 1 more breath. And exhale. High plank pose. Take a big breath in. Bring your forearms down for forearm plank. And then tiptoe your toes towards your elbows for dolphin. If you're like, girl, give me a break, get yourself a break. Take a child's pose whenever you need it. We'll meet there. But if you'd like to play around with kicking up, you can take 5 more breaths of your liking in this experience. So mind's tendency is to go out and downward. Notice where the mind feels like it is and pay attention for maybe 1 more breath in dolphin pose or forearm stand. And then we'll meet in child's pose. Do a little pranayama here when you're set. Let your head be heavy. Child's pose, knees wide, toes touch. Let everything go. By let everything go, let all the effort of your physicality go. All your expectations. And simply breathe and watch the way your breath moves through your body. Move into the space of your sense organs and see what it's like to open your sense organs up completely. Take 2 more breaths here. As if the breath was wind, not giving you life, but gracing you with a subtle energy to notice. Inhale, come back onto hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. Reach your hips up and back for downward facing dog. So you can play with down dog for a few breaths, or just to spice it up, try something totally different. Walk your hands back to the middle of your mat. Take your left foot and stand it a little closer to your right and extend your right leg to the back wall. Now you can play around here, pushing down into your hands and energizing your lifted leg. Or if you feel like you're pressing into the edges of your skin, shift your shoulders over your wrist. Keep your right leg straight and strong, look super far forward, and just play with lifting, just little kicks. Notice if your mind is set on the little kicks, or if it can be set into this observation of the expansive energy into your body. Take 2 or 3 kicks on one leg, and then the other leg might be the secret star for the day. So, or just will offer you a different perspective, really. Maybe one or 2 more. Nice, downward dog. Inhale, your left leg can step all the way forward. Lower your back knee. You don't want to deplete all your energy, but you start to shift your hips forward, but push into the floor, left hand to thigh, bend your right knee and take it. Stare at the floor or lift your chin a little bit and broaden your collarbones. Unruffle your feathers with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Stare at one thing in your room, but notice how you see everything with open eyes. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhale, full breath in. And exhale. Nice. Lower the back leg. Revolve triangle, kind of an awkward transition. Step your back foot forward and over to the right. Place your favorite beverage on your sacrum. Lift your heart to breathe in. Organize the leg bones. And then exhale, lift your left arm. Maybe the hands have a little brick to lift on. Either way, 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Steer your left hip bone back and find your right heel on the floor. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Twist a tiny bit more on the exhale. Hand to the floor as you breathe in. Step your right foot far back. Half Hanuman, lower the knee. Hands under shoulders. Inhale. Shorten a string from your heart to your big toe. As you exhale, right ribs towards left thigh, lower your chin, or full splits if that's part of your practice. Either way, find the edges of your skin so you start to fully live in your physical form. And then as you stare at one place and breathe, notice where you are in your mental form, in the mental plane. Breathe in. Feel yourself stretch as you breathe in. Breathe out. And offer all you are and have to the world. 2 more breaths. One more big breath. And exhale. 3-legged down dog. Go gracefully. So full splits, drag your leg back. Plant the foot, walk your hands forward. Inhale to lift your leg up and back and take some leg circles, hip circles. Bend your left knee. Full hip circles. Being aware of the way that the rest of your body is affected as you move one limb. Keep it neutral and opportunity or option to flip your dog. Take your left leg over to the right side of your mat, push into your feet, and feel the whole front body get long, but strengthen your back body to make the front body open up even more. So shoulder blades together, squeeze your tush, push your feet into the floor. One more big breath in. And full breath out. Good. Hands to the floor. Lower all the way down to your belly. Put your hands on the earth. Britt's favorite yoga pose. Place your forehead onto your hands. You can wiggle your hips a little left and right if you'd like, but close your eyes, and this is a moment of mindfulness and breath. Take a slow breath in. And a smooth breath out. And as you lay here, feel your whole body in space. And connect to what it is that is paying attention. Notice that space. You come and pay attention from an extremely stable place. With that attentive awareness, start to observe your breath with 100% connection and focus. When you breathe in, feel the concept of I am. This is your life, holding you, awakening you. And as you breathe out, just listen and feel as you offer all your energy to the world. Take 3 more breaths. Watch the breath come in through your nose and stretch the tissues of your lungs and the muscle and skin that wraps around it. As you exhale, notice the tail, sacrum, lumbar, thoracic, and cervical spine drift down towards the floor. And lift up with your eyes, or stay there forever. Bend your knees. If you struggle with flexibility in your spine, maybe just one side at a time. You can stretch the front body. Or we'll do 2 Dhanurasanas. Grab your ankles, toes towards center, but they don't need to touch. Just keep everything hip distance apart. Press your pubic bone into the floor as you exhale. Inhale, lift up and kick up, and then lengthen the back of your neck any amount. Activate your feet. So point your feet and the ball mound of your feet engages your quadriceps. Take 2 more breaths here, and notice you'll move a little bit as you breathe. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Press your belly into the floor as you exhale. 1 more big breath in. And breathe out. Good, release your hands. Plant your palms. Inhale, high plank pose. Exhale all the way to down dog. Walk your toes to the middle of your mat and your hands can meet your toes. Grab onto the big ones, the fatties. Inhale, halfway lift with your big toes and your peace fingers. And exhale, fold. Elbows side, or move to the side. Your head can drop completely. Tight hamstrings, it would be beneficial for you to maybe have something to put your hands on. And you can bend your knees a little to feel the way that the bottom of your feet connect to the floor. 2 more breaths, breathe in. And breathe out. 1 more full breath in. And breath out. Empty of breath, feel what that's like. Hands to hips and inhale, come all the way up. Straight spine can lift you up. Last standing pose is dancer. So stand on your right foot, start to dig that thing into the floor. A little bend in your knee, bend your left knee and take that foot. The number one thing that always happens is people draw their knee out. So draw that knee straight down and let that be important to you to keep your hips square. As you bend your knee, start to tilt forward. This is about opening your heart. So kick into your leg and extend your left arm forward. As you look to the ground, you'll lengthen the side of your neck. Breathe. This is Nataranjasana, which is Shiva dancing the Tandava in the middle of a circle of flames, not getting burnt by the polarities of life. Take 1 more big breath in and just energize the entire form. First, breathe all your air out and see how that affects you. And then switch sides. Second side might be real different. Find your energy in the foot. Start to hinge at your hips and dance through the polarities of the ego experience. I like it. I don't like it. It's hot. It's cold. I run towards it. I run away. Breathe and stare at one thing for 2 more breaths and feel how steady you are and how you can handle anything. Big inhale. Exhale, kick, kick, kick. 1 more breath. Please take the full inhale and the whole exhale. Yes, come on back to standing. We'll get all the way down to the back. Inhale, reach your hands high, please. Exhale, forward fold. Long, strong spine. Eyes to belly button to finish the pose, then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Come to a seat. Extend both legs out in front of you. Reach your hands up nice and tall. Big breath in. Exhale, hinge over your hips. You might not hinge that much. You can bend your knees to help the hinge. And lower your chin. Grab your feet, grab the floor, whatever you grab. 3 breaths here. Full breath in. Take your breath all the way to your low back. Active, strong legs. As you breathe out, notice what your body and mind do. 2 more full breaths. Inhale. Exhale, strong legs. Relax your head. 1 more breath just to listen and be right here. Inhale to rise back up. Hands behind you, tabletop or Purvottanasana. Breathe in to lift up by pressing down, and this would be the first variation of this posture. You can bring your shoulder blades together and then your neck or your head can kind of rest in the shoulders. And take 2 more big breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the exhale all the way out and notice what's happening with your body. Last breath here. And exhale. You're amazing. Lower your butt to the floor. Last pose, boat pose, last pose, sitting on our butt. So extend your feet. Let's wake up the core and the whole area of the hip flexors because will stretch a few last back bends. So engage the belly and the hip flexors, but if it's adding tension to straighten your legs, you can bend them. It just might be your hamstrings are tight. 2 more breaths. Shaking is good. It's like vibrating joyfulness. Good, and then lower all the way down. Sometimes we just like to wake up the muscle. Not everybody's naturally woke in the front of their body. Bend your knees. If you need a moment, you can knock your knees together, hands on the torso, and breathe. Otherwise, final big poses here are full wheel. So if that's not something you're down with, lift your butt up, interlace your fingers, and do bridge. Press your heels down to lift your hips up and breathe. We have to find poses and experiences that lightly challenge us, but always encourage ourselves to find more depth than the experience of the mind is offering. These poses are just like our life. And sometimes on yoga, we just need an easy pose for us to chill out and breathe. But notice what poses really get you agitated, really make you feel joyful, and then take one step back, because those are the polarities that Shiva dances in. Doesn't feel burned by their preferences. Good, untake that back bend. We'll do one more. So first, just find a neutral pose, however you want. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Your nervous system directly related to your breath. And the nervous system is what takes the external environment and processes your internal response. Last big old wheel. Come on, you got it. Hands to the floor. Maybe you just start to set yourself up imagining you do it. Hands and feet, shoulder and hip distance apart. Push down. Use your glutes. Lift with your tail. Your booty's strong. Start with that. And then maybe you start to lift up your hips. You don't have to lift your head barely at all. And then remember, the more you strengthen the back of your body, the more your front body can start to open. So press your heels into the floor, roll your shoulder blades onto your back. And some of you like to lift a leg. Others, you might already be moving into a pigeon pose because you're over it. But we're in our final last couple poses. So after this back bend, we'll move into inversions and shavasana. Breathe. And when you're all set, come on down to that full wheel. Grab your knees and rock a little left and right. Final inversion. Zoom life. I'm just really encouraging legs up the wall. You got your own wall over there. Just throw those suckers up. You can take them in straddle or Baddha Konasana. If shoulder stand is something you love to do, you can definitely take a variation of shoulder stand. But you don't want to be looking at the screen or anywhere else when you're in a position where you have a lot of weight on your cervical spine. The final inversions, you can do headstand or handstand. The final inversions are about flipping your perspective so that your ego, which is said to be associated with your head, is lower than your heart. There's also other reasons, as some of our systems, like the lymphatic system, have really small vessels. So this supports draining the lymphatic system into the process where the toxins get digested in the heart and torso area. And once you arrive in your variation, land your eyes in one place or close them completely. And we can move to the final resting pose. So if you want to shift into any other last posture before we head into Shavasana. Once you find yourself laying down, possibly with a blanket or a little pillow, take your body nice and wide. Palms face up, support external rotation of your shoulders, and you can even lift your ribs and tuck them underneath. And begin to watch your body get heavier and heavier. And feel your whole body at once and the way that it reacts or lands on the floor. The way the air around it touches your skin. Before we go silent for a little moment, observe your breath. Watch your inhale keep you alive and expand you into your body. And notice the exhale is an offering. If your mind still feels active, on your inhale, you can think the words so hum. And as you exhale, simply listen. Through self-realization practices, we learn the patterns of our mind. So when you have discernment and awareness of the illusion the ego will put, it'll draw entire experiences out that aren't real, but you're living them. Take a big breath into your body, or simply redirect back from ego into pure witness state. And then begin to deepen your breath in a smooth and supportive way. Know that we're all a work in process or progress. And as we are interested in these self-realization practices, we can see the way that the breath and the body and the mind are different planes that we can experience with all of our awareness and all of our intelligence spreading. so that eventually we can have any experience happen to us off of our mat, and we don't need to violently respond, but we take one step back and consciously react. Breathe into that truth that is within you, that's available, and know that we are creating our future and our patterns with each breath. Reach your hands overhead as you wake back into the body. And as we clear the body of our stories through tension and tissue, they start to show up on other levels and planes. Bend your knees, push your feet into the floor, and roll over to one side. And even in this pose of awakening, you can open your eyes and simply see the room around you without talking. Just be there. Feel yourself as someone who can see the room, but what's it got to do with you? Use your hand to bring yourself back up to a seat. You can close your eyes again or lower your gaze as you bring your hands to heart center. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for being on this path. And have an awesome rest of your Sunday and following week. Namaste.